Happy Sunday, Matt.
Glad to be back.
Technically, he's all dressed up. We're coming to you on a Sunday where people are down at the Canfield Fair, having a good time if you're joining us on that particular Sunday. But for us, we came up here to Risa Pizzeria, and you were okay with that, I think.
I'm fine with it. I drive here every work day. I'm right down the road from it, so I'm used to it.
Very good spot for us. And guess what? We're trying something new today.
What are we trying?
Sfogliatelle. That is what this is called, this beautiful pastry. And the cookies are fantastic out here too. You've been out here a few times.
I have, yeah. I work right down the road, so it's a quick drive even with traffic.
We are trying this today. We had a little bite before we went on camera, but this is, if you had to describe it now, I'm not gonna make you take the whole bite on TV again because that doesn't seem like the right thing to do. But if you had to describe it, what would you say?
I'd say a very, very, very fancy croissant.
Yeah. That is the best croissant. That is, I don't even know what that is, but they're not open today at Risa Pizzeria, but they are open at 11 a.m. on Mondays. Let's get to what we're talking about today. We are talking about arbitration for small business. Here we are, small business.
Arbitration,
what does it mean, really?
It's private courts, basically, is the easiest way to say it. You know, if you need to go to court, let's say here in Mahoning, you go downtown, you're dealing with a judge, a jury at that courthouse. Arbitration takes all of that, and you're in front of a private arbiter, a private person that you have to hire. So it can be better for you, right? It's quicker. You move it through, you're not subject to the court system and all this stuff, but it also can be costly because you are paying that arbitrator on an hourly basis to work your case.
So what kind of situation do you see that being a benefit for somebody, right? Like what situation are we in where we're like, okay, this is where we got to go because...
If you do a lot of contracts from a business perspective, yeah, you can do it. It's all contractual though, for the most part. So it has to be in your contracts. So first and foremost, you have to make sure if you want that, make sure that whatever contracts you're entering into, you put in there, we're gonna arbitrate. If you and I enter into a contract, we have a falling out, right? If we're businesses, we put an arbitration provision, you and I have to take that to a private system.
And then you have to decide on who's going to pay for it in that moment too?
Yes.
Oh.
And most, not all, most will say that, you know, we could pick one person, or you can even have ones where you pick three. And then it would also say, we split the costs. So if it's $500 an hour to pay that arbitrator, you're paying $250, I'm paying $250. And think about that. If you draft it and you've got 3 arbitrators, you're paying per hour per arbitrator.
So a situation where you're hiring an arbitrator is where you're having a dispute within somebody that you are in business with, a business partnership. How does that apply?
So if, you know, internally, all of that internal people that co-own businesses, you could have arbitration provisions to make sure all that gets figured out like that. So the whole point is we don't want to go to court. We don't want to go to the public court system. We want to go to a private. It can be used, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which side, to kind of quell down the number of fights you have, right?
Right, because you're paying for them.
Because you're paying for it. You're paying for it.
You don't want to do that.
So as a business plan, you want to make sure to look at it and go, well, what do I want to do? Would I rather kind of maybe temper down how many court cases I may have? And if that's the case, you got to make sure it's in your contracts.
I have one last question because I know we're running out of time, but then I know I start thinking about more questions. If you are in an arbitration situation and it's private, is that then kept private? Like it doesn't make news headlines? It can't be how does that work?
For the most part, it is private because it's not filed in the court system.
Okay,
so you
that
don't
was
have
my
anything
question.
like that.
See?
For the most part, it's kept completely private.
All right, well, good to know.
Yep.
If people are finding themselves in a situation where they feel like they need to consider arbitration, they can call you guys,
Absolutely.
right?
Or if they feel like, I don't want to be in arbitration, how do I do that? Absolutely.
Those are all things. If we're in business with people, chances are good we want to stay in business with them.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
All right. The best number and the best way to get a hold of you guys?
You can call my number, 330-244-4498. Goes directly to me.
Good job, Matt. Thank you for the time out for a second. I had to let my brain catch up on this Sunday. It's all that Canfield Fair and all the, the corn dogs and those gyros. It's gone to my head.
Don't overeat. Your brain will go down.
Exactly. Cheers.
Cheers.
Great coffee, too, out here.
Mm-hmm.